I said salute to the untouchable True School Sports Empire,
That's
taking
right, the
over
untouchable.
not only the South Florida boxing scene, but the worldwide boxing scene.
Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, like I told you guys in my last video, I've been away from social media for like 5 days, so like I'm just now finding out about all this craziness going on in boxing. So thank the Lord. Finally, I've waited a whole calendar year and then some. But finally, we have some Demetrius Andrade fight news, and y'all can save the date. He will be returning to the ring on PBC, on Showtime, against none other than Desmond Nicholson, a battle-tested 168-pounder. This is Demetrius Andrade's long-awaited and much-anticipated super middleweight debut. Now, let me just say this, because I know I'm going to get these comments in my comment section. I'm going to put anything that happened in the past because, I'm walking this road of trying to be a godly man day in and day out. And the Lord says we must forgive people when they don't do what's right. I thought he should have fought Johnny Beck. He didn't do it. I thought he should have fought Zach Parker. He didn't do it. So we're going to put the fact that Andrade avoided those two guys in our rear view because that's where it belongs. It looks like he had a plan all along. Good for him. I'm happy. There's no malice or hatred towards Andrade, even though people want to say that I hate Demetrius Andrade. But no, like I've always stated and I'll continue to state, he's one of my favorite fighters. He's one of the best fighters in boxing, and I just want to see him in the ring and fighting. And now he's got that fight against Desmond Nicholson. Now, a lot of people are slagging off Nicholson because that's what they do with Andrade. No matter who he fights, they slag them off and they say they aren't nobodies. If you would, it just is what it is. People don't like him for whatever the case may be, and it is what it is. But Nicholson's battle tested. I mean, Nicholson, he's been in there with the likes of Edgar Berlanga. I was at that fight last year. Berlanga dropped him a couple times and pretty much beat him decisively. But he was the first guy to take Berlanga the distance and give him rounds and really broke that I'm a effing monster myth that he had going on. Apart from that, he fought Jesse Hart 4 years ago for the NABA title and got stopped in 7 rounds. And he lost a split decision to Steve Rolls and had a draw with Emmanuel Aline. So listen, Nicholson is no world beater. He's no top 10 or 15 contender, but this is a guy that can give you rounds and is durable and is a good, competent professional fighter. And it's the ideal opponent for Andrade on Showtime, because now when we speak about politics, and this is probably the exciting part for me, just the fact that Andrade might be fighting one of these guys, just the fact that it might actually be finally happening. It really gets me excited, now that he's with Showtime, PBC, and Al Heyman. And you know what? Listen, we'll say it. We'll say it because people always say BT you're biased or whatever. But you know what? You gotta give credit where credit is due. Humble yourself. Thank you, Al Heyman. Thank you to PBC. They don't save. Thank you to Showtime and the fine folks there. They don't save Demetrius Andrade's career. So I'm happy about that because boxing needs more Demetrius Andrade on the television screen. And I've never made no secrets about what I think about him as a fighter. But he goes in there. He looks good. He takes care of Nicholson on a stacked and what's going to be a highly watched Tank Davis card because he's fighting on the Gervonta Davis, Hector Luis Garcia undercard. And people are going to tune into that fight because Tank Davis is a big-time, draw in the sport of boxing. So he goes in there, he does what he's supposed to do against Nicholson, and then all of a sudden you have endless possibilities. First and foremost, Andrade could go ahead and he could fight, and he could be lined up to fight the winner of Plant Benavidez. Now, as he said in his interview, there's not really any history there with him and Benavidez. And him and Plant are friends from years ago. So with that being said, the fight that he stated he really wants, and I think this is a fight that should be made, is against him and Jermall Charlo. And he's absolutely right about that. If there now that there really isn't no political divides, they can't use the whole he's with his own bullshit. And no, he's on PBC. He's on Showtime, and they can make it happen. What's funny about all this is like Andrade actually fought on Showtime before any of these guys. He fought on Showtime back when he fought Willie Nelson. So it's funny how you know it gets real when you're right back where you started. And now I really do hope for Andrade in 2023 this could be kind of like his Marvin Hagler years. You know, Hagler didn't really get the credit and appreciation till the end of his career, and I'm kind of hoping Andrade can kind of go through a similar thing that Hagler experienced. I'm not trying to compare them, but I'm saying like in a similar sense, they're both New England. There's been some things politically that have went against Andrade. Obviously, he's done some things wrong in his own career. We acknowledge that. But he can get the appreciation in the big fights in the latter stages of his career so he can push himself to be, one of the top fighters in boxing in the eyes of the public at large. You know, he deserves that critical acclaim. So I think the Charlo fight should happen. If he takes care of Nicholson, it should happen next. Because let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. What has Jermall Charlo been doing since last June? Not a damn thing. Jermall Charlo's been scratching his ass and picking his boogers, doing absolutely nothing in the middleweight division. So, you know, if he is who he says he is, and if he is one of them top guys, then why don't he go ahead and why don't he go fight Demetrius Andrade? Why don't he go make that fight and shut him up once and for all? And if Jermell Charlo wants to get it, because he's been running his mouth the most, in fact, he calls himself Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth, he did the most talking out of everybody. Andrade made it clear. If he wants to smoke, Andrade's not going to kill himself to go back down to 160 because he says he can make the weight, which I believe because Andrade's tall and he's long and all that stuff. But if Charlo, Jermell I'm talking about, if he wants to, Andrade said he'll fight him at like a catch weight in between 168 and 160. So make that fight happen. I will, honestly, personally, I would like to see Andrade fight both the Charlos because I've always thought he beats both of them and beats them both with ease. And if the Charlos, because I heard the Charlos like to watch a lot of boxing content. So if they ever come across this video, Jermell and Jermall, please stop talking, stop yelling like a bunch of women. Andrade is now a Showtime fighter. He can now fight you guys, make it happen, give the fans what they want, and give us some great fights because Jermall, and this really goes double for Jermall more so than Jermell because Jermall hasn't done anything. He was going to fight. He's still trying to fight Andrade, a guy Andrade already beat in Sulecki. Make that, fight Andrade in 2023. That's the fight I'm going to push for. And yeah, as far as Jermell, if he beats Tim Tszyu in January and he's really serious about, being this killer that he says he is, move up like you're planning to do any damn way and go fight Andrade at a catchweight. And let's settle this once and for all. Let's give the fans a good rivalry grudge fight. Ain't nothing better than boxing than a good rivalry fight. So let's make it happen. And I think it'd be great for both fighters to enhance their legacies and their careers and create some new rivalries in boxing. Well, not new rivalries, but see these rivalries play out in the ring. Give fans something new to talk about. So, shout out to Demetrius Andrade. For those of you who think I hate him, I don't. I never have for a second. I just want to see him in the ring. And after not seeing him in the ring for a year, of course I'm going to get frustrated. But we're here. Can't be any happier to hear this news. Demetrius Andrade is back January 7th on the Gervonta Tank Davis undercard against Desmond Nicholson for his super middleweight debut. So make of this what you will. Charlo versus Andrade 2023. Make this shit happen. We want to see this happen. So, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
True School of Sports. He's the truth. One of the best YouTube. The best.
Ooh, the number one.
Number one.
Brandon, you've been there, man, and you're building up a good following with us.
Thank you.
And I'm proud to be a part of what you're doing, too. You are spectacular. And
Thank you, man. All the best to True School Boxing and keep up the good work.